Hello class, this is a video tutorial on Introduction to Decimals. So the question we're going to be answering here is, what exactly are decimals? Well, we know that fractions represent a portion of a whole, where the portions are sized according to the denominator. So here I've got a square, and if we had a fraction of a half, that means we're going to take the whole square, chop it into 2 even bits, and highlight one part of it. So there are 2 parts, that's 1 and 2, and 1/2 is this left hand side. So the denominator tells us how many parts that we're gonna chop this up into. So if we had a quarter, so 4 parts, so we chop this up into 4 equal bits, and we highlight or take 1/4. Here's a fifth. We chop it up into 5 equal bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and take 1/5. Same with a 10th, same with a 25th, and so on. So the denominator tells us how many parts or how many portions there are to the whole. Decimals are fractions with denominators of magnitude 10. So decimals actually also show portions of a whole, but this time we're only looking at magnitudes of 10. By that we mean, so if we had 0.1, this is actually 1/10. So we've chopped this block up into 10 parts. 1, 2, actually just so you can see it, we're chopping it along this way. Hope you can see that. And if we keep chopping it along this way, we'll end up with 10 equal parts. One more line. One more line. I hope you get the idea of what we're doing here. So that there are tenths, so we're chopping it down like so, and we take 1 bit of it. So this bar here is 1/10. If we had 0.01, it's actually 1/100. And what that actually means is there are 100 blocks. So we take one whole and we chop it up into 100 blocks, and we take 1 bit of it. So 0.01 is 1 out of 100 total blocks. 0.001 is 1/1000. You could, I didn't actually draw 1,000 blocks here. It's actually very difficult to do so, but still we take 1 out of 1,000 total blocks. 0.0001 is 1/10,000. This is just too hard to draw, and I think you get the idea. So if we had 0.2, that's actually 0.2. So there are 10 blocks like so, and we take 2 of them here. 0.05 is 5/100. So here we have 100 squares, and we take 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 0.007. There are 7 blocks highlighted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 1,000 blocks. And 0.0008 is 8/10,000. And I think you get the idea as to what decimals are. So using equivalent fractions, we could also write these decimals as, so 0.2 we said was 2/10. But we could very much use magnitudes of 10 to say that it's 20/100, or 200/1000, or 2,000/10,000, and you get the idea for that. 0.05, we know that to be 5/100, or we could write it as 50/1000. In case you missed what we did, we multiply both by 10, so 5 times 10 is 50, 100 times 10 is 1,000. And same deal here, if we multiply by 10 again, we get 500 over 10,000 and so on. This is useful as more decimal places are used, their place values become more important. So just so you know, the decimal point we know exists just to the right of the ones column. And then from the ones column, we have the tens column, hundreds column, thousands column, and so on. But to the right hand side of the decimal points, I want you to take a close look. Instead of tens, we have tenths. Hence why if we had a 1 here, we write it as 1 over 10, hence 1/10. If we had a 3 over here, that's 3/10, and so on. For hundredths, it's the same thing. If we had 0.05, that's 5 over 100, so that's 5/100ths. If we had 0.007, that's 7/1000ths, so it's 7 over 1,000, and so on. So for 10,000s, 10,000ths, that's the next one. 100,000ths. The next one would be 100,000s, a millionths, and so on. So I really hope you're getting the idea as to what decimals are. They're just another way to represent parts of a whole. And here's another example of what we mean of converting these. So we know that 0.19 is 19 over 100 because the smallest part determines the denominator. So this is tenths, but this is 100th. So the 100th is the largest denominator. But we could easily break this up into 0.9, like this, and 0.09, so 0.09. Using this, we get 1/10 plus 9/100ths, but 1/10 is the same as 10/100ths, and from this we can add this to become what we're looking for here. Same thing can happen with this. 0.7 plus 0.02, that's 7 over 10 plus 2 over 100. We could convert this to 70 over 100 plus 2 over 100, which is exactly what we were looking for originally. Oops. So I hope that really gave you an insight into the idea of what decimals are. They're just another way to represent parts of a whole, but this time only using magnitudes of 10 and without using a denominator. So we're really just looking at using these, but we want to relate them to something that we already know, such as fractions. So I hope to see you in the next video. Best of luck.